Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week.
Hey, there we go. We've got it. There's always one every episode. We've made it.
At least last week you waited until I'd finished the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Bad Bookers.
BB.
I am your host, Movement.
Oh, we're keeping that one, are we? Okay.
I'm keeping that one.
Hello,
Hello,
if anybody
everybody.
wants to know who's done it,
I need to ask Jack what sort of conditioning and products he uses on his beef.
He's not on the ropes. He's fucking through the ropes now. Christ.
Oh my god. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Bad Book. Oh, for
Oh no! Oh no!
Move its location permanently on the ropes.
I can't even save that.
Oh no. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast, episode 95. I'm your host, Movement. I've got Chris, Matt, and Space Toaster with me this week. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Boys, have any of these actually used the Manscaping products? They're bang on. Like, not to distract, like, we've started the pod now, but they are bang on.
I'm not one for Manscaping.
Your lady will appreciate it, boys.
I'm not one for it.
I don't have a lady.
Maybe if you manscape, you would have a lady.
Well,
no lady's been there in a long time.
how would the lady know if you'd manscaped if you hadn't had a lady in the first place? So you just walk around going, "Hey, look, I've manscaped."
Maybe he's met the lady, brought her home. Went, well, let's take this to the boudoir. She's went, okay. Matthew, you seem like a lovely gentleman. What the fuck is that? Ah! You've got a fucking hedgehog down there.
Nobody has ever called me a lovely gentleman, I'll have you know.
From that entire statement, all you got was "lovely gentleman."
Oh,
Brilliant.
we are going to talk about some wrestling this week, hopefully. But apparently we're talking about manscaping at the moment. How are we all doing? Are we all good?
Keep it clean and tidy down there, boys.
Fine.
The ladies do it for you, like, do you know what I mean?
Well, this is fun. Should we talk about the news instead of
Whatever
whatever
that
this is?
storm Kira, boys, it's wreaking fucking havoc, isn't it?
Oh dear. So we've got lots of news to get through this week. Jack, our admin lad, has been a bit busy. So biggest news to come out of this week was the announcement of the signings of Timothy Thatcher and Killer Cross to WWE. They look like they're going to NXT by confirmed reports.
There's rumors that Killer Cross isn't going to NXT. He's going to skip it and go straight to the main roster.
Is he that good?
Yeah, he's polished and ready. And if they stick him and his missus on the main roster, they'll blend right in.
Who's his missus again?
Scarlett Bordeaux. She did a load of stuff. The stuff you would know her from would be the Impact stuff she done. She did the Smoke Show, and everybody got really pissed off about it because obviously women's wrestling has moved away from where they were sexualized, but her whole gimmick was she's owning the sexualization of her character and choosing to do it. So she got really over in Impact, but asked for her release because she wasn't making enough money not to have a part-time job when she wasn't at Impact tapings.
Okay.
So she left, and then Killer Cross after his shortly after, and now they're both WWE.
Cool. Timothy Thatcher being in WWE obviously means he's reunited with Walter, Wolf, and Bartel. So do we think it's going to be Ring Camp 2.0 or?
No. I have no other reason. I'm just going to say no.
I personally think they'll use him against Walter because NXT UK is going to need to have more faces, especially if Devlin's doing more NXT stuff. The only other guy is, I can't pronounce his name, so I just call him the Russian lad. Is the only other person there's
Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, I think if they bring Thatcher in there, he can be someone to go up against Walter, and the two of them will just chop the fuck out of each other.
I'm fine with that. I don't know much about Timothy Thatcher. Is he any good?
He's really good technical wrestler. What I've read is that he has had an open offer from WWE for about 4 years, but he wanted to go to Japan. He hasn't had any offers from Japan, and he's just thought, fuck it, and agreed to go do WWE.
Okay. Fair enough.
I know that Jack was doing some fantasy booking this week with the Timothy Thatcher stuff. I think he was on about him being with Dragunov, didn't he? And just have them against Imperium and see where it goes. But we don't know what will happen until they start using him and whether they use him properly. Other bit of news, the Nightmare Collective is done. It's finished. The last episode of AEW Dark, Awesome Kong was attacked by Mel and Luther to bring this nonsense to an end. However, Awesome Kong needs time away because they're filming the, I think it's the final season of Glow.
Season 3, is it?
Yeah.
4.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Any of you watch it?
I watched the first season. I really enjoyed it.
The first 2.5. The third season's a bit weird. Haven't got into it yet. Like, I think I have 3 episodes there.
What I found weird was they referred to Alex Riley as a good wrestler, and they used him as like the pin-up wrestler. It confused me a little bit.
Yeah, they used a few wrestlers. I think basically the wrestlers they brought in were all Chavo's mates because Chavo like helps with the scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
so
Chavo was in it.
Carlito and boys like that.
Why can't we have Carlito back on WWE or AEW?
Carlito pissed off WWE too much when he was there, and he's just happy getting paid to be on WWC, which I think is his dad's company. So he's making a fortune just to wrestle Puerto Rico.
Fair enough. It's a shame. I'd like to see somebody spit apples in people's faces.
If they're cool.
He doesn't spit them. Oh, fair enough. I was thinking of QT Marshall. He does stuff with apples, but...
Yeah, not the same though, is it?
That sounds sinister when you just say he does stuff with apples.
He does weird things to apples.
I mean, we're trying to keep it PG, boys, so if we could just move it along.
Yeah, that's fine. Staying with AEW, Double or Nothing 2 has been announced. It's going to take place on May 23rd at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, again in Las Vegas. Not really a lot to add to that, but
cool. Shit name.
You don't like it?
Double or Nothing is
Trouble or Nothing.
A final play. You can't really go Double or Nothing 2. This time it's personal Tokyo Drift. You know? Like, I would have liked, even if it had just been Double or Nothing fucking 2020 or whatever and just put the year on it, it's kind of weird.
MLW and Dragon Gate have reportedly formed a strategic alliance, meaning that they will exchange talent, content share, and do joint projects. I knew nothing about this. Cheers, Jack.
What's really interesting about it is that MLW previously had a relationship with Noah, but obviously Noah got took over by the guys who run DDT. So given that they've opened one up with Dragon Gate, you would assume that the DDT or the Noah deal's dead now, and you won't see them exchange wrestlers with Noah going forward. Also, I've noticed MLW are doing a lot of shit with AAA, and AEW have sort of eased back on being linked with AAA, other than I think Kenny might still have their title. But MLW are co-promoting a AAA event in the next couple of months.
And there's there's always like 3 or 4 AAA wrestlers on the MLW shows as well.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting.
Sticking with MLW, reports are suggesting that they are currently in talks with Amazon to stream Fusion onto Prime.
That would be
ace.
Yeah.
I've been watching Fusion recently and quite enjoying it.
I've not watched a single second of it.
I haven't.
I should, but I just don't.
And even if it goes to Prime, I don't have Prime, so...
You don't have Prime?
How do you live in the 21st century and not have Amazon Prime?
Because I don't have it.
Spent it on his fridge, didn't he?
The fridge, man.
Then you can sub to channels. You can get you 1 free sub a month. !Prime. See?
Cheers. Talking of that, goes. Oh, you can't do it yet. But yeah, 50 followers in it on badbookers.twitch.tv. Good promoting.
Badbookers.twitch.tv.
Yeah, that.
Shall I say it?
Yeah, because you know it.
Right.
Good lucha things movement.
Good lucha.
Right, we're 19 followers away from hitting affiliate, so if you haven't hit follow, please do. And then we hit affiliate, and then we get emotes like on the ropes and things like that. So make sure you do that. I'm going to stop talking because my nose is running.
We wouldn't hit affiliate, though, because we've got to do 7 hours of streaming in a week.
Not in a week, in a month.
Oh, is it a month? Is that... Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Ignore me.
Another podcast.
Cheers. I can't even speak now. New Japan Pro Wrestling have announced Wrestle Dynasty, which is going to happen on the 22nd of August at the Madison Square Garden. Reports are suggesting that it's going to be a Wrestle Kingdom level style event. It's going to go head to head the same day as TakeOver Boston, I believe.
I'm going to call bullshit. That's the equivalent of WWE going, our Saudi show is the biggest ever WrestleMania Royal Rumble bullshit that they've
Biggest Royal Rumble ever. The greatest Royal Rumble ever, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no way. Like, fair enough, they're going to
know.
do that show and they'll probably combine it with ROH. But there's no way they're putting on a Wrestle Kingdom level show in the States. It's just not happening. Like, I'm all for like promoting it and bigging it up, but it's going to be fucking Enzo and Cass are going to come out and challenge Gorillas of Destiny or some shit.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be happening, isn't it? Oh, dear. Last bit of news. As per Fightful, saying this week that Taynara Conti has walked out on NXT after disagreement with the company.
But with her not being very good.
Shots fired.
I mean, I saw that match, which was the most lazy match I think I've ever seen in my life.
Her and Santana Garrett?
Yes.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Oh,
it was fantastic. Although, I have to say, some of the shit I saw on this week's NXT was bullshit. Dream is sloppy as fuck. Fight me.
I'm not going to fight you. I said that he was going downhill before he got injured.
I know we're jumping ahead. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but that segment was sloppy as fuck, and it made everyone in the ring look shit.
Cool.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
We will talk about that in a bit, as well as AEW, but we've got to get the main roster nonsense out of the way first. I haven't watched any main roster, so I don't think anybody has they?
Raw happened and
clips, but I forgot
SmackDown
all of
happened.
them.
The only thing that I know that has been announced.
Oh, Corbin got covered in dog food, didn't he? Or was that last week?
That was last week, I think.
No, was it that they with Goldberg, they basically they advertised that Goldberg was going to be there and he was there via satellite.
Yeah, he was there on Skype.
Really?
Yeah, they advertised him as being on the show, and then they had a Skype call with him.
Oh wow! I saw something on Twitter because the announcement is that Goldberg's going to face the Fiend at Super Showdown, Money Bags, whatever you want to call it. I saw something on Twitter that said Bray Wyatt's going to destroy Goldberg's son because his son might be there or something. I was like, please don't. That
I want him
sounds terrible.
I want Goldberg to win.
I have a sneaky feeling that he might.
Why?
Why? Because the Fiend's a shit character.
No, right. I understand. The Fiends ran its course. They've overexposed them, and Bray Wyatt's, I've said it for weeks, is average in the ring. But in what world do you want Goldberg holding the fucking...
I don't want it to happen.
I'd rather have Goldberg holding the title than the Fiend. But the reason I want Goldberg to hold the title is because we then get the Battle of the Spears at WrestleMania when Roman Reigns takes the title off Goldberg.
And Edge.
Goldberg nearly killed The Undertaker, it was a year ago. There's no way they're putting him in the ring with, Roman.
I can see it being another 12-second Brock Lesnar escapade. I don't know why.
It was the other way around anyway. It was The Undertaker that nearly killed Goldberg. He started. He knocked Goldberg out, and then Goldberg couldn't get him up properly and nearly killed him. So it was Goldberg's fault anyway. It was The Undertaker's fault anyway.
Okay.
Everything's The Undertaker's fault.
Yeah, no, Brock Lesnar's the Undertaker's fault, and I love Brock Lesnar.
The other big announcement, which, oh my god, apparently it's still going. Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns are going to have another match.
Well, what they had their steel cage match, didn't they? And is that the end of it now?
No,
they're fighting
at Super Showdown.
Oh my! It's too many cooks. We've said it. We've said it before in the Discord. We've said it all the time. Discord in the DMs. We've said it plenty of times. Too many cooks. It's Orton and fucking Cena all over again. It's all shit. It irritates me. I don't fucking want to watch it. I just don't want to watch it.
Matt had like a very interesting statistic that he showed me, shared with me before we started.
Somebody on Twitter went through Baron Corbin's last 4 months of live appearances. So this is like WWE live events, pay-per-views, and TV tapings. He's had 41 appearances in the last 4 months. 39 of those appearances have been matches with Roman Reigns, either in tag teams or singles matches. What the fuck?
That takes a new meaning into too many cooks.
I don't understand why they're still doing it.
I don't understand why you're saying that's too many cooks.
So there's a Botchamania. So for those of you who don't know, there's a Botchamania video. It was like an outro that Matthew did, where apparently John Cena and Randy Orton have had too many matches against each other. And it's like every time they've had a match, they put it to the music of the Too Many Cooks. So that's where I got it from. I'll share it with you at some point because you look so confused.
I don't think he looks confused. I just don't think he cares. I think he seems a bit indifferent towards it.
I don't find Botchamania that entertaining.
I'm with you, Toaster. I don't find it funny at all. But
I remember watching like the first couple and being like, "Oh, this is kind of funny." He's on like 380 or something now, or
403.
There you go. I don't find it entertaining. I watch enough sloppy wrestling each week anyway, without having to relive all the fucking botches.
The only really good bits are usually, I keep saying really good bits. The bits that I enjoy the most tend to be the outros, where it's sort of like 4 or 5 minutes of like out of context wrestling bits that generally make me laugh. But I've not found the last few particularly funny. So shoot from the hip. Fuck you, Matthew.
Cool.
Make it funny.
I don't know what happened on Raw. Really, not a lot.
Angel Garza killed Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we needed. Yeah, so Angel Garza came onto Raw with Zelina Vega.
Came back and booked Liv Morgan.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was so obviously going to happen. So I was watching it, the cutscene, and like, here we go. She comes down to the ring, and yeah, that's going to happen, isn't it? What else?
I don't know. Not a lot, really.
It's usually the chat has to remind us what happened on Raw because
usually someone has Bleacher Report open and goes, "Oh, this happened." Oh, that
I'm
happened.
looking at Bleacher Report, and there's nothing that is worth talking about.
Well, there you go. We'll skip that.
Oh, there's a fatal. That's it. A number 1 contenders match for Bayley's title. Fatal 4-way.
Bayley SmackDown. What are they doing that on Raw?
That's what I meant.
We're just sort of generalising the main roster.
Apparently, it was won by Carmella.
Yes, because it sets up a pointless match for soon.
Elimination Chamber, I assume, because they're not going to fight in Saudi, are they?
I'm about to say Saudi. They never
So they're not doing Fastlane before Mania.
So there's no confirmation that Fastlane's going to happen this year yet, and the theory is because they've moved Saudi to before Mania, they're not going to do Fastlane this year.
Bring back Great Balls of Fire.
The Revival asked for their release again this week, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and Matt Hardy is dropping a lot of cryptic hints that he's gone.
Changed his name to In Limbo, and his contract's up at the end of next month.
So I haven't watched any of them yet, but apparently he's been doing a lot of the video vlog style things.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's been hinted about, like he's leaving. And this week, I think he tweeted something. It was just a picture of Jeff doing a swanton bomb off one of the things he does not bomb off. And I think Jeff has another couple of months. I think they injury tacked him.
Yeah, so Jeff's got an extra 5 months because of suspension and injury stuff.
Yeah, so I think Matt's gone and I think Jeff's gone shortly after. And they'll either go ROH or they'll probably get a job in AEW jobs for the boys.
There is also rumours that Shayna's going up.
Yeah, Shayna's going to Raw. I think she's going up this week.
Yeah, it's not just like normal rumours. It's very strong rumours now that Shayna's going to be going on to. I don't want to call it main roster, but it still sort of is getting the call up or the call across, whichever you want to call it.
It makes sense putting her on Raw because Ruby Riott Star can have a good match with her. If Ronda ever comes back, you've got Ronda and her.
Yeah.
It's a fresh feud for Becky as well.
I was going to say Becky needs somebody to fight at Mania.
Do you think she'll go to Raw?
Yeah.
Fight Becky at Mania?
Yeah, because you're not going to have her go to SmackDown because there's no women's division on SmackDown, so she's wasted going there.
SmackDown's going to be Bayley Banks, isn't it? At Mania, their Mania match's going to be those two. Raw's probably going to be, could be Shayna thingy. I think Asuka's going to be in there somewhere.
And then you got Charlotte and Rhea.
Yeah,
for the NXT title.
Because I know I'm probably in the majority. I think Becky's title reign is getting stale.
It's
been stale for a while. So it's getting
it never got going. It never got going.
I lost interest when they paired her with Seth on screen.
Yes. And the only good thing that happened with that was the end of days. That's the only good thing that happened.
And that was less than 4 weeks after Mania last year.
Is it really?
So that was so the end of days was exactly 4 weeks after Mania.
Oh Christ!
So they paired her with Steph 2 or 3 weeks after she won the title.
Oh gee. I mean, I liked the story with Asuka. It was a bit different. I mean, it had the same outcome, but it felt a bit different. There was a bit more to it than your usual. I'm going to fight you, and I'm going to fight you, and it just seemed a bit more to it than that. And it was quite. The match wasn't too bad either. I'd just like to see it maybe extended a little bit longer, but obviously we don't know what's happening with Asuka soon, do we? We don't know what's happening with Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, etc. So I don't know why I mentioned Io there, but yeah, yeah, I've got nothing else to add than that really.
Didn't she come out this week with those Thug Life sunglasses on?
Yeah, she got the deal with it sunglasses that she's just memed again.
I mean, why?
Why?
I think the problem with main roster, and I don't think NXT's bad because I reckon it looks like a lot of the NXT guys get a bit more creative freedom than main roster because they can go to Hunter or Regal or whoever it is backstage and say what they want to do. If you look at, again, talking about the Revival asking for their release this week, there was a tweet at them. Someone tweeted at them, a fan, and went, "You're on SmackDown, there's all these great teams," and they named like Miz and Morrison. By the way, Miz and Morrison had a great segment on SmackDown.
Yes. Dirt sheet, didn't they? They did
the best of the dirt sheet for the Oscars or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's the Usos, Miz and Morrison, New Day. You can't expect to have the tag titles all the time. And I think it was Dawson just replied, "Don't want tag titles, want creative freedom, brother."
Yeah.
And I was like, that's brilliant. But I think it's a perfect example of what the guys who spent time in NXT got over and wanted going to the main roster, and then they realized they're in Vince's box now.
And of course, you got EC3 as well. EC3.
Oh, that Jericho stuff.
Yeah. It was on I think it was on Jericho's Instagram. There was a picture of him and EC3, and it just said, "This guy's going places" or something along those lines. And then
they tagged
AEW. And then I saw Ryan Satin put an eye emoji as well.
Imagine EC3 and MJF together. Like, imagine those two just being despicable arsehole heel tag team and just rip it into people. Like, the wrestling would be a bit above average. Like, MJF's better in the ring than EC3, in my opinion. EC3 can put on decent matches with the right opponents, but on the mic, it would be fucking brutal.
Yeah. Should we talk about NXT?
Can do.
So, NXT started with
the
Broserweights, the winners of the Just did Tag Team Classic. They did the usual nonsense thing of doing one wrestler's theme for 20 seconds and then changing.
They got the
to other.
Brosmobile, whatever it's called. That thing's awesome.
Is it awesome though, or is it something ridiculous?
I hated it.
I thought it was funny. I think it leans into Riddle's gimmick. Riddle's whole gimmick is, I'm a stoner, we're going to make a lot of stoner jokes, which is fine. As I said last week, I'm starting to enjoy Riddle a lot more.
Yes.
My issue is, Riddle's getting that thing over, so Morrow then has to go and cram his...
I knew it. I knew this was coming.
Commentary. Please, dear God, stop.
Stop
He's
making
on a
money.
man-made high and all this other shit. And I'm just like,
He's never going to
Morrow, something's getting over that you're not involved in. Take a back fucking seat and let the other people get over. You don't have to fucking ram it down people's throats. It frustrates me so much.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
The only good thing about the car was the fact that it was the way Pete Dunne has just sat there, fucking deadpan, and Riddle was popping his tits off. That was the only good thing about that car.
That's turned into a meme already. just the zoom in on his face where he's just like, no.
The line Bobby Fish said fish. And
Bobby Fish
how
said
much
fish,
fish could Bobby Fish
fry?
Bobby Fish could fry for it. I just went, fuck's sake. And then,
I was absolutely
and then he's just dancing around the ring, singing it.
And then Dunn starts the "We're gonna smoke you,"
Yeah.
and as soon as he says that, Full Sail latched on. Then that was brilliant. Like that opening segment was quite good.
Yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed Dunn being the deadpan straight man to
I'm enjoying it.
Riddle being the stoner comedy. I think that works. I wouldn't mind seeing them having a longer run as like a tag team now.
It looks like that's what's going to happen. I mean, they're challenging for the title at Portland, aren't they?
Yeah. But I
that's
thought
only 2 weeks away.
I thought it was just going to be a vehicle to get them to feud with each other and push them both off.
So did I, but I don't think so anymore.
I'll happily see them go for the next 6 months as a tag team and just sort of pop off each other the way they have been. And it gets done over massively. Dunn not really known for having a lot of charisma or character about him. I like Pete Dunne, but he's not. You wouldn't associate him with having a great character. Like he was the bruiserweight. He put his fists beside his mouth and carried a title in his mouth. Other than that, he just beat the fuck out of people. This has given him a lot more character and character development working with Riddle, who is also benefiting greatly off it.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
I don't think there was any fighting after this, was there? Because I know Undisputed Era
was there not a big scrap?
No, that was later on.
Because I know they went around looking for Ciampa, didn't they? I think there was segments throughout the night where they were looking for Ciampa. I think it was Bronson Reed came up to them and then he got super kicked by Roddy Strong, I think.
Yeah, so there was a few segments. Yeah.
Do you remember a couple of weeks ago on Raw, Kevin Owens was running around looking at Seth and AOP? It was before Seth and AOP were... I don't know if you guys watched it. It was one of the weeks where I watched Raw. And it reminded me of a Stone Cold, like 1998 Stone Cold fucking running around looking Vince or something. It was kind of good. This kind of reeked the same of like that plus what Ciampa did last week. And I understand it's revenge, so they need to go around in a pack. But all I was thinking was Ciampa took 4 years out last week with a pipe. I mean, he's a running around backstage looking at him. If he's with anyone else, they're fucked.
But I think the reason that they were doing it with the Undisputed Era is just to make sure people get that these are fucking 4 geeks. They asked a cameraman to come with them. Yeah. They picked on a load of smaller people. When they got
Reed as well, didn't they?
When they got to Bronson Reed, they all backed off, waited till he turned around, and then Roderick Strong tapped him on the shoulder and super kicked him when he wasn't ready for it. Everybody else, they just went straight up to, and all 4 of them tried to intimidate them. Whereas Bronson Reed, all 4 of them acted friendly towards him, just asked him if he'd seen Ciampa, and then said, "Oh, if you see him, just let him know we're looking for him." And acted all pally with him. Then when he turned his back, then Roderick Strong tapped him on the shoulder, got him to turn around again, and then super kicked him. It's just them being the witless, spineless bastards that they are.
Pack mentality.
I quite liked that segment, that backstage segment for Undisputed Era this week.
Oh, and the head shave. I think you've already talked about it.
Yeah, the head shave. Yeah. But why are we seeing somebody get a haircut?
Yeah, why is a random... I assume he was an extra, but I assume he's supposed to be like a backstage cameraman or something. Why is there just free haircuts being handed out? Could he not go and sit in catering or something?
It's a perk of the job. Free haircuts. Dental plan and haircuts. Winner. Dental plan.
Dental plan. Angel Garza had a match against Swerve Scott.
Moist.
I love Swerve, but this match bored me.
I enjoyed it.
It was
quite a nice
was
match.
okay. There was no point to it. Angel came out and was like, "Oh, I beat Rey Mysterio on Raw." Blah blah blah. I don't give a fuck.
This is interesting because last week you said without the cruiserweights, NXT was terrible.
Yeah, but we had another cruiserweight match.
There
to be
was
fair.
Devlin fucking Breeze was class. This match was kind of
I mean,
you-
it could have gone a little bit longer if I'm being honest, but other than that, I felt it was a perfectly decent match.
Was
You got to see-
Devlin?
What?
Was Devlin Breeze really class? Was
I
Devlin
think
Breeze
that was
better
good.
than
I
this
thought it was
match?
good.
I think
I
Devlin
would
Breeze
suggest
was
that this
better.
match was. I would suggest this match was much better than Devlin Breeze.
Okay.
I like the start of the Devlin Breeze match. That was interesting, but yeah,
That was cookie cutter Finn Balor. I'm sorry. I'm bringing it up because
Oh, here we go.
you can't say he's not Finn Balor. He's not like pretending to be Finn Balor, and then NXT purposefully do the same thing with both superstars one week to another.
Would that
I'm
be because
sorry,
they're
that
trying to
makes
pair
it
them
even
up?
worse that makes it even worse for Devlin.
No, it doesn't.
Like-
It doesn't at all. Because if we look at long term and the intention is to put them two together, then Devlin is watching what Finn Balor does and going, I should do that for the next match. So then he does that to Tyler Breeze.
But he always comes out and hates people comparing to him, and then he goes
Smooth,
and does.
is this just you
the same
venting your
thing?
hatred because he won't come on the podcast?
No!
Collar?
No,
You seem to have like a wee axe to the ground over there. Like,
no,
Irish
it just
people
really
do.
annoyed me that he doesn't like it when people compare him to Finn Balor. Yeah, he does the same start to a match that Finn Balor did last week. That's the bit that annoyed me, I think.
Are you getting the world of kayfabe and real life sort of blended and mixed together here?
Well, yeah, but you can't come out and say no, I'm completely a different person. And
Playing
do
character.
the
so
same
are
thing.
we? Just to be clear, going forward, is Finn Balor the only person that's allowed to do that? Is he the only one allowed to jump someone without you getting wound
No,
up?
but if
next
you
week-
watch how he did
next
it,
week, if Angel
it's
Garza
exactly
does
the
it,
same.
okay, but if Angel Garza does it next week, are you going to call him a B-Tech Latino Finn Balor?
If you
Is that
want
where
me
we're
to.
going with this? Just anybody that does a drop kick attack before a match is B-Tech Balor? Or are you saying it because they're both Irish blokes?
No, I'm saying
Because
just because
essentially,
a lot
I
of
don't want to
people-
say it's racist, but it's almost xenophobic.
Right. I get what Stephen's trying to say, but at the same time, I figured there's a slight long-term element to it.
Moving on, next
Yeah, let's
segment.
move on. Dominik Dijakovic had a match against Killian Dane.
It was okay.
Yeah, I don't like Killian Dane as much as.
To quote Big E, big, sweaty, muscular man slapping meat.
Oh, yes. Bumping meat. I love that bumping meat reference. We saw that clip as well. It's fucking excellent.
Oh, man.
Big E and
Oh, you
Goldberg.
boys want your 5-star matches? I just want big, sweaty, muscly man slapping meat. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Goldberg and Big E. Fucking love it.
Then we had Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano had a split screen kind of promo interview thing.
Gargano won that, I think, as well. I want the real Finn Balor. If I get the one I get the one from Raw, I'll eat him alive or something like that.
Yeah, he made reference to how he kept losing to Bobby Lashley on Raw or something.
Yeah.
I like this style of promo, and I think NXT need to utilize it more. Like, they don't have to be one in the ring called each other out and the other one come out. You can set up a deliberate backstage. Would you call it backstage? Like a pre-taped fucking interview. It works. Both of them had really good lines, and I do think Gargano got over more than the two of them. He obviously hit the lines about, I don't want fucking the one that lost the Lashley or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I got to drive it through your heart. And the only real line I can remember is Finn's end, which was like, I don't have a heart, Johnny, or whatever. Other than that, I thought it was a great segment.
I kind of want. I mean, I agree with your what you're saying about having that style of interview. I miss the almost like an interview with the two in the same room. I mean, it's not a regularly done thing. As in, like, it doesn't have to be in the ring behind a desk and things like that. Have an area set up backstage for it. I think it would be great. Or almost like a UFC style press conference or something.
If they're in the same room, WWE are not going to not have them scrap, and we see that far too fucking often.
But it shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, but whilst Vince McMahon is still alive, you're never not going to have him say, if there's two people in a room and they're in a feud, they must scrap. This is never not going to happen. So you need to wait for Vince to die. So give it 35 years until he dies when he's in his early hundreds. And maybe you can have a decent promo where two people are in the same room. But until then, this was the best way to do it. Have them on a split screen so it looks like they're there, but obviously they're clearly not. And you get probably the best Gargano promo since he's been in NXT.
Yeah, it was a great promo.
Yeah.
So to answer, Jack has said he thinks Brock and Roman did it once. Dak sort of agreed. That might have happened, but I think Brock is, without being playing on a pun, he's like a completely different animal in his character. He's not necessarily always mad and looking to rip people to pieces. Most of the time, he's looking to defend or gain a title and doing it for the money. So with his character, he's not going to fight someone for free 9 times out of 10. So you could put him in a room and he'd sit there and be like, I'll get you when our match comes up. And that kind of suits his character. Whereas a lot of the other characters, it'll be, no, I'm going to fight you now because I'm all emotional.
I'm certain that there's a segment where there's Heyman and Roman sitting in a room together. Because Heyman does, like, bigs him up like you're the right place. No, you're the right guy in the wrong place. Right guy, right place, wrong time, or whatever it is. And I think that was leading up to a WrestleMania match, I think, and then the whole Seth situation happened. But it's a really good. If it can be utilized properly, it's a really good method of doing it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Mercedes Martinez and Casey Catanzaro had a match.
This is a squash match, wasn't it?
Yeah, not a lot really happened.
It's to get Martinez over. They need to try and keep her strong, but not put her in the title picture at the moment because they've already got title matches.
I think they're building her to try and take Shayna's place as like that dominant badass.
Yeah.
And Mercedes can do that job. Beth Phoenix called her Mercedes. And he mispronounced the name and I went, huh? And I didn't like it was like a video promo thing beforehand.
Yes.
For Mercedes. I didn't really like that. It was kind of like, I'm not interested. As soon
They
as
do that a lot on NXT though, where it's someone that you haven't seen for a while. They'll show like a build up. This is what this person does, and it's like,
well,
wow.
I mean, I suppose it's good for like more casual viewers than ourselves. Obviously, we'd watch it every week, and we know who these people are. It's not like Mercedes Martinez is an unknown to any of us. But I suppose for like, if I'm a casual viewer that doesn't really watch NXT every week and drops in once a month or whatever, and that videos are, at least I sort of get a rough idea of her character.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't for my taste. And as soon as I seen Casey or Katie, whatever you call her, come out, I knew she was getting fucking smashed.
Oh, she was going to get destroyed, Jack.
You're sending out the wee fucking flippy flopper to face her, right? Okay.
Then we've got the brawl that happened with Undisputed Era, Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, and Pete Dunne. I don't know if they started backstage and then fed out into the ring. I can't really remember.
Tommaso attacked, didn't he?
Yeah, so they ended up in the ring because they couldn't find him, didn't they? And then he came out. And
no, as far as I remember,
they were going to the ring, and he came out to try and attack the four of them on the way to the ring. That was it.
Well, they were still backstage. They were walking out, and then Ciampa appeared and had hit one from behind because they were a bit spaced out rather than right close together, and was just wailing on them one by one. And then, if I remember correctly, they sort of spilled out in towards the ring, and then Dunn and Riddle came down and got involved. And then Rick was like, "You want to have a fight? You have a fight!" Or something along those lines. War games!
I've got a comment.
Go on then.
I don't think people are going to agree with me.
If it's anything bad to say about William Regal, I will fight you.
No. It's bad about this week's episode of NXT in particular. Do you not think they rammed Undisputed Era down your throat? Like, the Undisputed Era must have had about 4 segments and a 2-hour show this week. It reeked of, like, the old Authority from Raw when you had to have the authority in every 2 or 3 segments.
This
For me, the best weeks of NXT are when they jump from storyline to storyline to storyline. Obviously, they've meshed a couple of different storylines together because UE, but I feel like I saw too much UE on this card. And for a weekly TV show, you shouldn't have to see the same act out 3 or 4 times a night.
It's weird. I'm not getting that vibe at the minute, and I'm mainly probably because.
Well, is it because you like UE?
Yes.
Honestly,
No. Yes,
if you
it
take
is.
a step back and think about it, like, because that's what I was thinking watching this. Is like, I like UE, I like Adam Cole, I like those boys.
Yeah.
But when you take a step back, you go, if that was Roman and Seth, I'd be fucking livid at how this card was made.
It's
Why the
partly
fuck
to
I'm
me.
facing them all the time?
It's partly because I look at it with rose-tinted glasses because of how much I enjoy NXT as a product. I go, oh, it's fine, it's okay, and that thought hasn't crossed my mind until now. I hope you haven't done the whole Mauro Ranallo commentary moment, you fuck, because if you have, that's going to be bad news. But yeah, it's not something I've really sort of come across so far, but it's probably going to be now. So cheers.
No, it's not most weeks. Like, this is the first real week I've sat back and went, I have seen too much of UE. NXT have a deep roster. I don't need to see that much UE. And this week it felt like every other segment was UE.
I think the problem is that UE still have most of the titles, and they brought back Velveteen Dream at the same time, so they had to be in, or to get all of the stuff. Bearing in mind they've got to take over in 2 weeks, so they've got to build a title match for Cole. They've got to continue the build for that. You've got a title match for Fish and O'Reilly. You've got to continue the build for that. It looks like they're going to do Velveteen Dream versus Strong at it, possibly. So you've got to have sort of like a build for that as well. And you've then combined Ciampa and Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. So you've got to shoehorn that in as well. That one feels a bit forced, but you've got to have. I could have understood three segments with Undisputed Era if they were building to those 3 separate things, but to then like have other ones where they're cramming all the things together, it does feel like a little bit oversaturation.
Yeah.
I think as well, if you think back to like Attitude Era, they used to do that a lot, didn't they? It used to be a lot of the certain main character. Like you mentioned, Steve Cole backstage doing stuff
on the fucking roster. They had a rumble where they had to put Mick Foley in it 3 times because they didn't have enough. They didn't have 30 wrestlers on the card.
I suppose, but
it's not like that anymore. They've got 97 people on their roster.
They have so many people coming through the PC as well. Like Bronson Reed, we haven't seen him wrestle for a good month or so.
Cameron Grimes hasn't been around for a while either, is he?
Cameron Grimes, last time I think we saw him was in
3 weeks ago.
Was he in the #1 contender match for the? Cruiserweights, I think.
No, it wasn't the Cruiserweights. It was the North American title. It was in the Keith Kovic, and Priest.
Well, then, okay, I mean, you look at Killian Dane. When was he last on, apart from this week?
When he lost to Priest after War Games, so like months ago. Like,
I mean, has he been
December.
injured?
No, he's just not a prominent. Honestly, he's fucking awful on NXT. Like, he doesn't suit the style of NXT at all. He's not had a good match in a long time, as far as I'm concerned.
I disagree. I think he's been fine. I mean, sure, he hasn't really been standout, but you can't say he's not had a good match.
Okay, name a good match that he's had on NXT TV.
Well, I mean, I can't. That's I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to say that he's been, out as well. It's been, if you put it this way, it's average to good to average, in a sense. It's not been like standout, but at the same time, he's not been like underwhelming. I wouldn't say.
I would say he's underwhelming. I would say he's consistently in the poorest match of the week when he's on weekly TV on NXT.
Was he that this week?
It's between his. Well, I've got different opinions to the rest of you on Tyler Breeze.
No, I get that. I mean, I just think he needs to be in something again. Not necessarily in like a title push or as a solo. I mean, maybe
Not him and Bronson Reed together, big meaty man tag team.
AOP.
Honestly, the best thing for Killian Dane, fuck off to NXT UK, so I don't have to watch it and pick up a paycheck.
They won't do that.
Ever.
They're not going to split him and Nikki across fucking continents. Like,
yeah, they're not going to do that.
Well, when was the last time Nikki was on TV?
Yeah, but Nikki Cross
last week.
If you watch the video, there's a video from the BT Sport launch, and
yes, Stephanie
made a comment saying she's ours now. She lives in America. Kind of, you're not going to have her back because she must be doing well elsewhere than just on TV.
She does a lot of the anti-bullying campaigns and things.
Yeah, so they'll keep her over there.
A lot of that.
And they won't split like Toaster says. They're not going to split up them two because obviously are they married now?
They're engaged. I think they are married. I think they got married.
I think they are married. I think they were married recently. So, I know we touched on it earlier. Jordan Devlin, Tyler Breeze. Apart from the opening, which I've already spoken about, I really enjoyed the match.
Tyler got his shit in, which I was happy to see. Any chance to see Tyler to have a good match, I'm fine with. Devlin was fine again. I can't see. It was a perfectly fine match. Really enjoyed myself.
If I had one thing to nitpick about the match, I think Devlin gave Breeze too much. Like, this is the first time we've seen Devlin since he won the title. Tyler hasn't really been involved in any major angles, hasn't really been like elevated to be anything on NXT, and he gave him a lot. Now, I understand there's probably a lot of respect between them. Tyler's a veteran in WWE now, but I just feel like Devlin should have been more vicious in finishing him off quicker. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think maybe a time constraint, maybe sort of like, well, look, you've got 15 minutes now instead of 5. Because it wasn't a short match by any stretch, was it? It was a good 10 minutes.
I think that the three of you have your opinions on Tyler Breeze coloured by the fact that you enjoyed either his run in NXT before he went to the main roster or you enjoyed the Fashion Files. I think if you looked at the match separately without any nostalgia for liking Tyler Breeze, I think he was sloppy. I think he was poor in most of what he was doing, and I just think that he realistically shouldn't be fighting anybody who is of that age. I think he needs to either go back to the main roster or basically be a jobber, because I think he was sloppy in his offense. I think he was poor in his selling for Devlin, and I don't think he's in the right position. I don't like him there. Maybe team him up with Fandango again and have them as a tag team and job them out or whatever. Just I don't think Tyler
Fandango's injured, isn't he?
Is he injured again?
I think he is.
Yeah.
I find it bizarre. I don't really know how you came to that conclusion. Honestly, I mean, look again. It's nothing to do with Fashion Files, not even anything to do with his previous run. I barely watched Tyler Breeze NXT stuff because that was sort of just as I was starting to get into NXT. I'm really sorry. I know I must be distracted in this thing fucking hanging out my notes. But anyway, just seeing him back in the ring, and he's a fucking good wrestler. I can't see how you'd say that he was sloppy. I thought it was a perfectly fine match.
I didn't enjoy the match at all, and it was mostly to do with... It wasn't anything to do with Jordan Devlin. It was all spots that Breeze was in.
The thing with Tyler Breeze is he's in that position now where he's the veteran of NXT and he will be there to put people over.
Yeah,
Jordan Devlin isn't going to be known by the casuals. But therefore, if you put him in the ring with Tyler Breeze, people will go, oh.
Tyler Breeze isn't good enough at selling to be that man. He either needs to be squashed as a name who somebody squashes, or he needs to not be in that position because he's not good enough for it.
Okay.
It's just my opinion.
No, that's fair.
No, that's fair, I get it.
Yeah.
What was the next one?
The showdown. So Charlotte was confronted on Raw by Rhea Ripley this week.
So Rhea came out
I'm renaming this the Bianca Belair segment because she stole the fucking.
Oh
show.
my god, the
Yeah,
This was
reaction!
her
was brilliant.
segment. Like, there's not.
She pulled a reaction when Charlotte did the hand to her face, and she did the eyes. She just looked like I know her and Montez Ford are married, and she did literally the same face that Montez Ford would make. She was like, "What are you doing?"
It was like 2 minutes
great.
of, oh my god, I can't believe she did this, and just sort of pacing up and down the ring.
And she was like crouching up and down, like getting all humped, like hung up on everything. It was brilliant. But
like even to the point where when she was talking about Rhea Ripley, she made sure her back was to Rhea and she was staring at Charlotte. Just like everything about the way she handled that promo was fucking brilliant.
I mean,
I hit the floor with "You don't even go here."
Yeah,
or whatever.
don't even go here.
Floor. I was like, "Oh, it's such a simple line, but it took me completely out."
I wasn't that big on Bianca Belair. That's nothing personal. It's just I never really was like, didn't really sort of give a toss. But recently, pretty much since the Rumble, I'd say. I mean, I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but since the Rumble, it's really my opinion on her is just through the roof. She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's definitely been getting better. I think she wasn't flattered by the War Games stuff. But pre-War Games on NXT, she was doing pretty well. And then obviously, like I say, War Games ruined all the storylines in the women's division and they had to rebuild. But now that we've separated out all the women again, she's come to the forefront. And yeah, I think I think she'll probably end up on either Raw or SmackDown soon.
Maybe.
She feels like the kind of character who would work well on either Raw or SmackDown to kind of freshen up those divisions that are getting really stale.
If she goes up, she goes to Raw because that's where Montez is. And all right, so.
Yeah, but because it was supposed to be a Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley kind of segment, but we knew Charlotte may turn up. I think it was already said that she was going to turn up on NXT after what happened on Monday.
They advertised her to try and pop the ratings.
Yeah. It was supposed to be Charlotte and Rhea the segment, and Charlotte was calling out Rhea, and Belair came out because. Obviously,
Belair came to the ring first.
Yeah, but Charlotte came into the ring first.
Yeah,
Charlotte started saying how Rhea was getting way ahead of herself by calling Charlotte out for the Rumble. How dare she? It's up to Charlotte who she chooses. And Belair was then came out and said she was pissed off.
No. Bianca Belair came out first.
No, Charlotte came out.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. I remember it because Bianca Belair came out first.
Yeah.
And then she called out Rhea Ripley and said...
Charlotte got out of the car, didn't she?
Pardon?
Charlotte got out of the car and then Belair came to the ring before Charlotte could come down to the ring. So they showed Charlotte getting out of the car.
I didn't see the Charlotte getting out of the car.
Charlotte got out of the car and they went to a break or whatever, and then
yeah,
there you
go.
That's
But yeah, because I remember because she said something like Rhea Ripley's looking past Portland to focus on Charlotte instead of she should be focusing on me because I'm going to take the title off her effectively.
So I like that, but the whole thing Rhea's been saying is I'm going to try my hardest. So Rhea's trying her best to stay face by not looking past. But this segment was class, and Bianca Belair was standout of it all.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the ending of that, where Belair and Rhea attacked Charlotte afterwards?
It's building
It seemed a bit
up to
weird
them
to me
eventually
for that.
doing Trips NXT attack in the main roster. I would say the Survivor Series.
I mean, that's a long-term build, that, isn't it?
It is, but we are NXT. It's going to build to it, and it's going to be... The reason I think they're building to it is it's going to pop NXT's ratings. And as much as WWE can say they're not concerned, they have to be concerned.
They are.
AEW are beating them. Like, it's why Charlotte came down this week to try and pop it a wee bit. I don't think it helped that much.
What was it this week? AEW 928, NXT 770.
Yeah, so I think Vince has to be looking at those numbers. And whether everyone can say they're not worried and they're happy on TV, they have to be looking at that going, that's one of our products getting beat by off-brand WWE, as they'll say it. So I think it's going to lead to Trips fucking NXT attacking a couple of main roster people, probably building up after Mania, I would assume, when they need like a big angle. and then they'll do it across the 3 brands again and try and pop some of their ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see it.
We finished with the Undisputed Era having their match. So I think it was Adam Cole, Riley, Fish against Tommaso Ciampa, Riddle, and Dunn.
Yeah.
Roderick Strong was outside of the ring, but the match didn't start properly because there was a brawl again.
Yeah.
When the match finally got underway, it was just 100 miles an hour. I can't remember what happened because so much happened so quickly, I think.
It was all very fast paced, wasn't it? It was just kind of there was no breaks in it. There was no kind of slowing down. You don't get any the shitty main roster 15-minute headlock segments. It was just fast paced, keep it going, and eventually when Undisputed Era looked like they weren't able to overcome it looked like it was kind of getting towards being a stalemate. Nobody could see who won, so Strong got involved and kind of caused the DQ, didn't he?
Yeah, and then so it ended up being a Undisputed Era loss because of the DQ. We then had the kind of spray paint X on Ciampa's back, kind of a callback from last week where he put the X on the table. We had Cole giving it X marks the spot again, just calling back to it. And then the lights went out, and then the kind of the circles from last week, which was Velveteen Dream. I think we speculated it could have been Atlas, but
I'll give you props. I think it was just you that speculated last week it was going to be Dream. I think we had a couple of other people.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't go back and check, but I think you said it was going to be Dream because of the 3 circles. I can't remember. I think I might have said someone else. I don't know. Like I thought Atlas, but it made sense to bring Dream out. This segment was sloppy as fuck. It made Undisputed Era look shit. Dream looked sloppy as fuck. I was going to keep saying it.
We were stood on the top rope for ages as well.
It was that, and then the smirk, and then when he was pushing people and they were having to throw themselves, it just did not look like Dream's not the guy you get to go beat up 4 men, especially if it's the 4 men that have been dominating your brand for the last 6 to 12 months. You do not have Velveteen Dream come back and beat up all 4 of them, and it just looked shit.
And then he revealed his pants.
And he revealed his pants, which had Roddy's wife and daughter on it. And when he had to call me in the back, and maybe this is me just being a big AEW mark, all I can think of is Sammy Guevara's been doing that gimmick for the last 2 months.
But Velveteen's been doing it for years.
Well, there you go. That's fine.
So he had Call Me Up Vince on his pants. I
believe but there's a difference between Call Me Up Vince and putting a woman's name and Call Me, because that's what Guevara's been doing.
It was Call Me Up, not Call Me. It was Call Me Up and then her name. So it was literally...
It was Call Me and her name.
It was Call Me Up and her name.
Go and Google it.
Right, on it.
Go and Google it. Go on, Chris.
Definitely Call Me Up.
What's it, Maria, isn't it?
Yeah, Maria Shafir.
And it's literally the same pants, just with a different photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Call Me Up.
So I think Portland is next week.
So either next week or the week after. I can't. I think it's probably Sunday next week.
Over Portland.
It's probably on the
next week. February 16th. Yeah, next Sunday.
Yeah.
So next week we'll be doing predictions for NXT for that event. So make sure you check out next week's pod so you can see who we've got for that and the card. Should we get into AEW while Chris is trying to find it? So AEW this week had it was really odd when I watched it this week because it seemed like there was a lot of stuff. They booked a lot of matches that had already been advertised, and a lot of the ones that were advertised happened within the first hour, and I was like, surely, like when I was watching, surely there's not going to be an hour of MJF whipping Cody. This is a bit weird. But it turns out they decided to put lots of
They were
the
they were always
matches.
going to build it up to the Cody thingy segment. It was always going to be like a half-hour build for that segment. They've been advertising their matches ahead of time. I think in order to try and draw ratings, people are saying what matches are available.
Well, they've already announced the next 3 weeks at least. Like
a couple of matches on the next 3 weeks, but not all of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I meant.
it's a strategy that's working for them. Is that obviously it's not the only reason they're winning, but the fans being able to go, oh, that sounds like a great match. I'd love to see that.
Because next week is, I know we'll probably talk about this at the end because it kind of spoils some of the stuff from what we're going to talk about. So the first thing of the night was they did a promo package from last week with John Moxley and Chris Jericho. This week it starts with John Moxley versus Ortiz with Santana at ringside. What do you think? I thought it was all right.
The first comment I want to make is, can we sack JR and just have Chris Jericho on commentary? Because Chris Jericho's commentary is fucking incredible. Like I listened to commentary on AEW for the first time in weeks because I accidentally started with the sound on, and Chris Jericho just was popping me all over the place.
I was just about to apologize. I pulled up NXT to check as well. Right, Matt. Sorry.
I don't like Chris Jericho that much, but I thought he was fantastic on commentary this week.
He always is, though. I think any time that he's on commentary and being a heel, he does put over the story very well and kind of mixes in the commentary with it, which really works. I think this match is, you're not expecting it to be a world beater because it's Ortiz and Moxley. You're expecting a bit of Santana interruptions at some point. There wasn't really anything that really happened until after the match.
Yeah.
So Moxley defeated him, and then Moxley got the car keys from the Ford GT that he stole off Jericho. I genuinely thought he was going to throw them into the crowd. I was like, what are you doing? And then I kind of thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's now going to jab it into Santana's eye. Yeah. Although Jericho and the rest, and I think it was Guevara and Jake Hager, took a long time to get to the ring. Well, I'm sure they would have noticed what was going on. Like
Jericho was shouting, "Get to the ring!" and
3 hours later,
the other two clearly either weren't listening to him or realised that they were going to get to the ring too soon, so they had to slow down. But I don't think that took away from it, because the fact of Jericho going, "How can you do this to somebody like you? You're going to affect this man's career, and how can you like take away his livelihood?" It was
the hypocrisy of Jericho is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely brilliant. Like, as much as I've said in the past, I don't like him, or I don't like him as much as other people. I think this week that commentary was just perfect for the entire thing.
So the match after that was SCU and Best Friends. I think at the moment, Best Friends are probably one of my favourite tag teams. And that's without Orange Cassidy.
I was about to say, is that because of Orange Cassidy?
No, before you even start, I was focused heavily this week on just watching the match. Sorry, I knew you'd both bring it up, you know.
What are you bringing up? I don't understand. What about Orange Cassidy?
I don't think Matt likes him very much.
No, it's because I said that Best Friends are probably one of my favourite tag teams in AEW at the moment, and I was waiting for someone to say, "Oh, is it because of Orange Cassidy?"
I mean, I didn't say it like that, but you know.
No, but I knew it was coming.
The feed line for you, Smoothman.
But yeah, I really like them. I think Trent is brilliant. I know we've said in the past that they're probably going to push him to be a singles run. I don't think they need to do that yet. I think Best Friends should go for the title at some point. I know.
I think it's fucking high as fuck, mate. Absolutely high as fuck. The Best Friends cost themselves this match because they're too busy trying to pick each other in the arsehole rather than wrestle. If they weren't too busy trying to have a reach around, fucking grope of each other's arse, they'd have won this match. But no, we've got to be on the floor.
That's the whole point.
Let's have a well, fuck off, wrestle or fuck off.
So I'll just say it. Orange Cassidy stole this match segment. See, there's a spot where they're all on the outside. I can't remember how to get there. And he walks over and lies down beside them. I was like, this is fantastic. And I know Matt apparently doesn't like it and is freaking out about it. Trent and Chuck are both great wrestlers. Trent was going to be pushed in New Japan, but then they left. Chuck is a good technical wrestler, but not as good as Trent. And he's a good tag team wrestler.
But the match was won by SCU, which I think means because they won this match, they get that match. Is it next week for the tag titles? It's
SCU have been labelled as they're the highest ranking team at the moment, aren't they?
They have an automatic rematch clause. That's why they're getting a title match. They've got automatic rematches in AEW. They were saying it on commentary constantly.
Well, I wasn't really paying attention. Then the end of the match was a beatdown from the Dark Order on all of the people involved, apart from Orange Cassidy, who was outside the ring.
The Orange Cassidy Dark Order stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
it's the here have the hood or the mask, and he just puts his hands up and then into his pockets, and then just gets destroyed. It seems interesting that Daniels comes to make the save, but they don't attack Daniels. I know they bigged it up on commentary that he's going to be the one who they're trying to get at. They're the one that they want to recruit next. I kind of have a little... I know we've talked about it briefly. Or someone's mentioned it a couple of times as well. That, probably is Toast, that he's the exalted one.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't attack him.
I didn't even say it on. They said it on commentary.
They've said they're going to destroy his friends and family till he joins. He would be a perfect person to put as the exalted one. Obviously, there was rumors it was going to be Marty, and then there was talks it was going to be Matt Hardy. If they want to use it in-house, Daniels is perfect for it. He's overly liked. He's good promo, and he would stay away from the ring. Obviously, if he ends up with a minion or a gang of minions to do his work, he doesn't need to be in the ring. And it also lets Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian go be a full-time tag team and not linked
Aces and eights.
TD for a while. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of works. The one thing in this match segment I noticed was JR was trying his hardest to get Frankie Kazarian over. Like just kept mentioning how Kazarian's the killer Kowalski he was trained by, and that he's the hardest working, underrated, all this bullshit. It was real forcing it, and I think it's came into play by what happens at the very end. Without jumping ahead, there's an attack that happens, and it's rumored that it's going to be Kazarian that did it, and it's going to build the Kazarian having a match against the person he attacked before Revolution.
Yeah, I did see that reported on Twitter, but we'll get to it when we get to it. We then had the female match, the Yuka Sakazaki and Dr. Britt Baker. I switched off. I know that sounds really negative. It's like, oh no, Smooth does like women's wrestling. No, that's not the case. I can't. Someone else tweeted this, and I can't remember who it was, and it just said, "Is Britt Baker just not anyone's cup of tea? Because they're not mine." And I kind of agree because don't get me wrong, she probably can be a great heel. She can wrestle. She's very good at it. But I am bored of her already.
So,
I thought her opponent was crap, to be honest. Whoever she, I don't know who she is.
This is the thing. So there's loads of people on Twitter who are going, oh, Yuka Sakazaki's coming back and she's the best babyface in the universe and she's the most...
She was shite
in this
match.
Like,
oh yeah, she was sloppy.
The most babyface of babyface women in the world, and she's going to really change the AEW women's division, and she should have won the title, not Rio. And then she had this match and she was sloppy and just didn't create any sort of emotion at all.
The waves that wank over Joshi wrestling all think that her and Rio are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think they both need a couple of years before they're ready to be considered main event of any women's division. The this match, I thought it was okay. The Britt Baker thing, the reason she's turning heel, Smoothman, is that exact reaction you had. So Kenny Omega has apparently taken creative leadership or creative control of this storyline, and it was his decision to turn Britt heel.
I don't mind her turning heel. I just think some of the stuff that she's done has not been executed very well.
But this is exactly why, like, because she wasn't getting over as a face. Obviously, they were pushing her as one of the top faces, and the fans were just bored of her. She was essentially Adam Cole's girlfriend. Lol, shock face.
I'm a dentist.
So they've turned her heel now. The Starbucks lines and the lines at JR were both heavily influenced by Tony Khan, who has taken like a larger influence. I think the Starbucks line was class, and if you watch this week's Being the Elite, they're kind of working it into that as well now and taking the piss. But with Britt Baker, she's not getting over as a babyface because they shoved her too hard. They're now turning her. Her in-ring work is average. She needs the right opponent. I don't think she's had the right opponent. I don't know who the right opponent is for her. I haven't got like an answer. It'll be like
it'll probably be Statlander,
person.
Yeah, the problem is they don't have an uber babyface in the women's division at the moment. They've not managed to build a proper.
The closest they got to that is Statlander.
Babyface yet.
Yeah, Statlander will be the babyface they end up building.
Is she really a sympathetic babyface if she's an alien?
If she's getting the shit kicked out of her, she will.
She's getting Orange Cassidy-esque reactions from the fans with her alien gimmick. So
But
yeah, the babyface.
She's definitely a face, don't get me wrong, but I don't think she's that sympathetic babyface that everybody wants to love. I think she's that character that everybody's enjoying. And I think the way Britt Baker is at the moment, you need that sympathetic, uber babyface that everybody, like a Rey Mysterio that everybody wanted to really get behind, even though
Which is why she beat up the tiny teenage-looking Japanese woman.
Yeah, but she's beat a tiny teenage Japanese woman that nobody gives a fuck about because we haven't seen her since she fought in Fyter Fest 6 months ago.
Okay.
Kylie Ray, who obviously isn't there anymore, but she would be ideal for that.
I've said a million times about the AEW division is they're too quickly trying to get to things. They need to do some building of characters that we don't know about. So Emi Sakura is a fine example of somebody who they've thrust in against the big heel before we've got any sympathy for. If they'd created a character that we quite enjoy, we see her wrestle a couple of times. She looks pretty good, but Nyla Rose keeps trying to murder her, and she gets a bit of sympathy behind it. And then she goes against Britt Baker, and she steals that win. And you've then got a little bit of something, a reason to get behind Emi Sakura. But no, they've just plucked her out of thin air, shoved her on her first AEW show, and had a fight against Britt Baker.
You've JR'd the girl's name twice. Emi Sakura is the one that comes down acting like Prince.
Mercury.
Like fucking
Right.
Freddie Mercury.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Yuka Sakazaki.
Yuka Sakazaki, that's it. Sorry.
I just wanted to point that out. Obviously, it's because you don't know the rest, just they're not exposed.
Because I've seen them both twice.
Yeah.
However,
you completely JR'd that.
Yeah, okay.
The problem you have with that is that you will be left with matches that are going to be essentially piss breaks, or going to be ones where, where, as Smoothen said a minute ago, be tuned out to, or whatever. You wouldn't be invested in any of that, and it takes time to do that. But it's a double-edged sword. So you have to allow time for stories to build.
Yeah.
But if the wrestlers or the fans or whoever's aren't gonna give them the time to do it, what's the fucking point? So,
the thing with the women's division is this company is, I want to say it's been on TV 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. They need, it is going to take them longer to build the women's division. Their tag division was kind of there because they had a couple of tag teams of people now. They got PNP, they had Lucha Bros, they had Young Bucks. People knew of them. Their women's division, there's a lot of wrestlers in there you won't have known of. They're either Joshi wrestlers that only the most extreme smarts would have known of. I wouldn't have known of half of them beforehand. And then they're going to take time, and they're going to throw stuff like this on your TV. They're going to put that woman on. She wasn't available because of other bookings. I think she had signed a 5-match deal, but she had a lot of Stardom or whatever the other Japanese women's wrestling company is. One of them, anyway. She had a lot of those, so they've only just got her back. They put her against Britt. Maybe it was too early for a feud builder, I think, for this match. It made sense. Like, she got a win, which puts her on the ladder or whatever, fucking top 10
Power ranking
wrestlers. Yeah, that thing. It puts her on that, and Britt got her heat back by knocking the girl's tooth out at some point. So it wasn't great, but both women come out of it a little bit better than what they went in. Britt obviously didn't need the win being a heel. And
I think the heel stuff saved the segment, to be honest, at the end. The match wasn't great. Like, I kind of agree with Matt.
Saka's didn't even watch it.
I did.
You said you turned it off.
No, I didn't. I said I tuned out. As in, I had it on, but I wasn't really paying attention.
As in, you weren't paying any attention, but you agree with Matt, it was a horrible match when you weren't paying attention?
No.
Here's Jeff. Right, what was the next segment?
No, honestly, I think the women's division there needs a big name. It does, but whether they can get it, I don't know. But it needs a big name.
The thing is that I think the thing that
name they could get would be Tessa, and she's having issues at the minute and still contracted the Impact. So there's no one they can get unless WWE release someone.
The thing is that their biggest downfall is the fact that they're getting people, the Joshi wrestlers or B Priestley, who's not going to be there every week because she's in Stardom. I know Matt's going to say B Priestley's rubbish, and I know she's not the greatest of wrestlers, but she's a name that people know, but she's not there every week because she's living in Japan.
So, do you think people know her name over Britt Baker? Because I think they're both about the same level of wrestler. Only Britt doesn't drop people on their neck every week.
Jack in the chat going, Tessa versus Lacey Evans and her personal issues on a pole match.
I'm just trying to ignore the fact of what you just put in the chat, mate.
I'll tell her. I put the you only like B Priestley because she's
I didn't say that I liked her. I just said that she's not on team.
Is she a bigger name than Britt Baker?
Probably not. Probably about the same.
Okay. Because you just mentioned her as if she's a big name they could bring in. I don't think Britt Baker.
I didn't say a big name that they could bring in.
You did.
I did not. I said where they're falling down is because they haven't got people who are there regularly. I said that they're picking the Joshi wrestlers or B Priestley who live in Japan. That's what I said. I didn't say anything about big names.
People know.
That was a separate point that you made 2 minutes before.
Okay.
I'm with Smoothen here. I understood what he meant anyway when he brought up B Priestley.
Thank you.
I know you criticise me because I call her
constantly making me on the ropes post.
Yeah, like there's no big name they can bring in because most of the good wrestlers that would improve the division have signed contracts in the last 12 months in WWE or Tessa Blanchard. I don't know how long has left on her the TNA contract, but other than that, there's no big name that's definitely good. Mercedes Martinez would have been perfect for that division, and I don't know why they didn't sign her when she had appearances.
She always wanted WWE. She had her eyes set to sign with New York, and she was never going to sign with AEW when she had a chance to get into WWE.
Right. Okay.
Would you say Catanaro? There you go. Big name.
Would you say then, if we talk about names, would Jordan Grace be a big name?
No.
If she would come in or not?
No.
I hadn't heard of her until
I was literally going to say that. Only people that watch Impact will know of her. I know Wolfie knows of her, and I've seen a few of her matches and stuff. Jordan Grace would be fantastic. But as I said, I think her future's linked to where Jonathan Gresham goes.
Yeah.
She's engaged / married to him. I think the two of them will go to the same promotion, whether it be ROH or they both go to WWE or whatever. And she's not a big name. She's known because she's mates with Blanchard, and the two of them are doing well on Impact at the minute. But
because she was in that kind of faction, wasn't she? I think she was like a tag title holder. I think
her and Blanchard were like really good mates and good on screen, but they wouldn't be big names. I don't think so. A big name would boost part of the female roster and be like, oh, they've got her. I think what they need to keep doing is working with some of the females they've got to help them get better or do better things. And also what they seem to be doing anyway is scouting the indies. What they need to be doing is getting the next people that WWE are looking at as well, not just poaching because WWE are looking at them, but the next level of female talent out there who are good enough to go on to a main stage if they're a bit developed, and they need to be sort of coaxing those guys in before WWE get them. WWE's female roster is stacked. They went and got, like, the next line of people they got was like Indy Hartwell and Shotzi Blackheart, who are both doing well on the indies. WWE have snapped them up. And I think that's the problem at the minute, is that WWE are stacking performers. And they are. They've got like 100 odd people in the Performance Center. And this week's NXT was an example. I mean, 50% of the airtime was UE. There's people not getting on, so they need to be going out, and they are doing it. Like Statlander's a good example of someone they've pinched before WWE got them. They need to be going out and looking for people who are busting their arse doing well. But
WWE are hoarding everything in a minute, aren't they?
Yeah, they
That's
are.
going to backfire. Eventually, that will
backfire, because you will see a lot of people handing notices in and asking to leave and
not re-signing it. Like, they might have 3-year deals now, but if they don't get any TV time for 3 years, they're at the end of that 3-year deal. Do you think they're going to say, "All right, fine, yeah, I'll take the same deal again, where I'm on £40,000-50,000 to stay in the Performance Center, or this similar money to go to AEW and actually have a chance of getting on TV?"
Mm. Yeah. The Elite had a match against Butcher, Blade, and Lucha Bros. So this came from last week, where there was issues with the Butcher and the Blade. I think they were paid, weren't they, to take out the Young Bucks last week by MJF, and then they lost.
They failed, yeah.
So this match was
long.
Yeah.
Very
long. It was long, but they kind of had to put in some of the stuff that Adam Page is not really part of the Elite. He doesn't really get involved with it.
But then Kenny
kind of celebrations. Pardon?
Yeah, I mean, the storytelling of this match was brilliant, because you had Page never ever tagged either of the Bucks. He only tagged with Omega for the entire match.
Which
I didn't notice that.
It was perfect storytelling.
So that's the whole thing. It builds up to the backstage segment afterwards, where like, or was it backstage segment or was it BDA? It must have been backstage segment.
It was.
It builds up to that, but basically it's building the tension between the Bucks and Hangman. But I think rather than, so I was originally thinking it was going to be Hangman turns on Omega. I don't think that's where we're going anymore. I don't think it's going to be a turning angle. I think it's just going to be Hangman sort of trying to differentiate himself as away from being the lackey of the Elite. Like, that's what the whole story started with. When he lost to Jericho, it was, I'm the only one that hasn't won the title. I'm the only one that can't get it done. So he went, I'm leaving the Elite, but obviously he hasn't left. He's still come down and helping. I think it's going to lead to him and Kenny going off and having a really strong title run, and they will beat the Bucks whenever they face the Bucks.
Isn't that next week? Haven't they said, "Oh, we'll fight you next week" or something? But that was the end of that.
No, next week is.
I think it's going to be the tag match at Revolution. No, Revolution's going to be SCU, isn't it?
No, next week is SCU.
SCU's next week.
Might be against the Bucks, and I think it's going to end with Hangman pinning Matt or Nick after a buckshot lariat or maybe the joint finisher. I think it's going to build to where the Bucks slowly have to start showing Hangman the respect he thinks he deserves. And the reason I think they're going that direction is Matt did an Instagram live chat this week where people were asking him a couple of different questions. One of the questions was Marty Scurll supposed to be the leader of the
Dark Order?
Dark Order.
Yeah, Dark Order. And he said no, which, you know, what's he going to say?
He was always going to say no.
But then they asked him a couple of other questions. One of the questions about Hangman. And he said, undoubtedly, in a year's time, Hangman will be the biggest star in AEW. And if you look at the character development they've given him, and Tony Khan is supposed to be heavily involved in Hangman's whole story arc from the start when they started giving him like the slight drinking gimmick and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Tony Khan has supposedly stepped in and started working with Hangman. And I know Tony Khan doesn't really have a massive background of anything to do with this. Like, he's managing director of Fulham, and
he just has ideas.
He has a lot of ideas. He's watched a lot of wrestling and stuff, so he's kind of like not one of us, because obviously a billionaire or whatever, but he's watched a fuckload of wrestling. Wrestling's his passion, and I think he dipped his hand in with Hangman first in creative, helping out.
Yeah.
And because it's working, and Hangman's story arc is working, like we all admitted last week, like Hangman's probably developed the most out of anyone, and he's went from us not giving a fuck to his storyline's actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up being majorly over, but I don't think they're going down the route where they're going to turn on each other and Hangman goes one way and the rest will go the other. I think the leader's still going to be the elite, but it's going to lead to him being respected as much as like they respect Kenny, rather than just, oh, you're Hangman, you're there.
Mm.
All right. There was.
So I think they lost, didn't they? I think it was Hangman who took the pin.
Yeah.
And refused to attack.
Yeah. So that was exactly it. So he had tagged Omega, I think twice. He got back in and wouldn't tag to the books because Omega was on the floor outside after being taken out by.
He'd also had a knee injury as well, I think.
Yeah, and
they
then
played on that.
They targeted his knee for a while, but he refused to tag Nickel and Matt. Took a load of offense, and it was it's not a Meltzer driver. What's the luchador fucking one?
Oh, it's like a package. It's like a small package driver,
yeah,
isn't
small
it?
package where he stamps on his arse.
Yeah. Penta driver, I think it's called.
Yeah, well, that was the finish anyway.
We then had a after match segment where you could hear Pac. He was on the microphone, pretty much goading Kenny Omega because obviously he's wanting this rubber match. He says, "Look, you're not gonna accept my match when I attack Michael Nakazawa." And he stood next to Riho, and you think, "Oh, he's gonna be that bastard, isn't he? He's gonna really go and beat up Riho." And then he says, "Oh yeah, I'm not that much of a bastard," and then points behind because before that,
I'm a bastard, but I might not be a beast.
Yeah.
But I'm not a beast, but she is.
And then because Omega thought she was going to get attacked by Pac, he accepted the match. But then after it, Nyla Rose powerbombed Riho, and I think they've got a title match next week.
Yeah, powerbomb onto a table.
That didn't break.
One of the legs slightly moved. Like it was one of those where the table was level and then it was almost slightly not level. But just like it's so much more brutal when the table doesn't break.
You can tell, like I don't know, I can't tell if it was supposed to break or it wasn't. I think that they've powerbombed her on the non-gimmick. You know that box, the box they use rather than a thing. I think they powerbombed her on the non-gimmick one. And it sort of slants down a little bit. And I'm just like, oh, she should have went through that and hasn't. Oh, that fucking hurt. It's like when you go through the thing, you could do I always call it the Shane McMahon thing, where you have like something inflated underneath and they hit that and it takes a bit of the blow. Because Shane's Hell in a Cell spots all have big fucking blown up pillows under the table.
Yeah.
But it's just she's hit it and slid off, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
My biggest worry about the Riho Nyla Rose match next week is that Riho will win.
Die?
No, Riho will win.
Oh.
And it will just kill any momentum that Nyla Rose has. I know Nyla hasn't got a lot of momentum going in the division at the moment anyway, but she's already lost to Riho. If she loses to Riho again,
it depends, right? So I could see that being a possibility. Like if she loses the Rio, then the fans are like, well, why do I care about this? But if she loses the Rio and then goes mental, which is what her character kind of is. She's been doing a lot of attacks with, is it Shanna?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because she did one in like a signing in front of Jimmy Havoc, and Jimmy Havoc just stood there going, what? And then she attacked Rick Knox, the referee, as well.
Yeah, so she was putting people through tables and stuff. If she, say Riho steals a win, because that's the way Riho wins, because she's 90 pounds or whatever. So schoolboy roll up or whatever, crucifix pin, whatever fucking combination she wants to use. Nyla gets up and just goes fucking mad. She instantly has whatever heat she's built back. I think with Nyla, if they're going to get her pushed, she needs to go and beat like a Kong or someone that's a big wrestler and not just be seen as someone that's big beating up on smaller ones. But if she goes, say Rio steals the win and she grabs Rio and puts her through fucking 3 tables and beats her out of chair until someone has to come down for a save, she's automatically got her heat back. Like that's just the way wrestling is. I hate quoting him, but JR says it on his podcast he does with Conrad. It's like wrestlers today don't know how to do their job and still get over. Like there's a lot of wrestlers that can't lose on their back clean but get their heat back, and it's
the way I'd book next week would be Riho rolls up and beats Rose again. Nyla Rose goes absolutely schizo, like you say, beats the living shit out of Rio. Kenny Omega runs down to try and get involved, and she picks Kenny Omega up and puts her through a table. That's how I'd do it.
It's one way to do it, but then you're hinting too closely at intergender stuff. And I know they've already done the Rick Knox spot, but I would like it. It's like it'd be a good spot, but I can't see them letting Kenny go through a table. But it makes sense. Maybe Knock could go through a table.
What, Shinsuke Nakamura?
No, Michael Naka.
Mura.
Zawa.
Michael Nakamura.
Michael Nakamura.
Joey Janela had a match against Kip Sabian. This has been a long feud where Janela's getting involved with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Obviously, Janela came to AEW with Penelope Ford by his side, and then she ditched him for Kip Sabian. I kind of felt this match went a little bit longer than it probably should have done, but I think they both Kip Sabian and Janela are good, and I think they need the time to show what they can do. I think they need to build a mid card and actually have the mid card flourish, and this really showed that the mid card is pretty good. I can't remember anything that happened though. Probably
I kind of skipped this one.
The bird faked being injured, and the one who isn't with her anymore went to see if she's okay, and then she pushed him into an attack from the one that she is with.
Yeah. I think she also got hit by Kip Sabian on the apron, but that then meant Kip Sabian won. So although she was hit by her own current boyfriend, pardon?
Joey won.
No, Kip Sabian did.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does Bleacher Report say?
I watched it live, so I might be.
Sabian defeated Janela.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sure it was, because I think she was on the apron to try and distract Janela, but actually Janela threw Kip Sabian into her. She obviously fell off and injured herself, but on the way back in off the rope, he took advantage and scored with a roll-up.
Okay.
So he kind of made it look like, he's attacked his girlfriend, but actually he's still got the win.
Okay. Like from what I remember, the match was decent. It did feel like they gave them a long amount of time. I was slightly I agree they need to build their mid card, but I think they're actually doing a really good job of building the mid card in previous weeks, where they're putting the likes of what do you call those buzz? They put like Darby Allin and Private Party up against Jericho and stuff, and I think they were building it well by doing stuff like that and putting guys who wouldn't necessarily be in the main event against main eventers. But these guys have been working really hard and dark and stuff, and obviously I think it was Joey's idea to do the storyline because it was made public that Penelope and Kip were together now, and obviously Joey and Penelope were together for ages. I'm interested to see where it goes. I think it needs to be some sort of, not death match, but I think if they're going to have another match, it needs to be something extreme. And play up the Joey's
Penelope on a pole match.
That's a different connotation, Matthew.
There we go.
Baby dog, baby.
I think I had this thought today, and I'm sure Matt has this thought on the weekly at the moment with AEW. I do miss not seeing Jimmy Havoc on screen.
I do, but at the same time, I don't think they've been. I don't think they've had any kind of way to build that kind of story. I think you need to have a well set product before you can start throwing that kind of extreme stuff. And yes, I know he's been doing stuff on Dark, and I'm sorry, I don't have the inclination to watch Dark as much as I love Jimmy Havoc, and I know he's on it. Jimmy Havoc's been doing a lot of stuff in MLW.
That's why I don't think they're using him. I don't think we're going to see Jimmy Havoc on AEW regularly until his MLW deal's up. It's kind of similar to MJF. They didn't have him wrestle until his deal was up. Obviously, he had the storyline with Cody, and they're pushing that. But he only ever cut promos. They never had him wrestle until his MLW deal's up. And I think he
had one match. The very first week of AEW, he had a match, but that was it.
I don't think they want to invest in having Jimmy wrestle and be involved in a big storyline for him to go and do a death match with Mance Warner on MLW and end up injured and then they're fucked.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think he's done 3 death matches since he signed. Since AEW have had their TV contract, he's done 3 death matches on MLW. And as much as you'd love to see it on AEW TV, if he does that over there and one of the pieces of glass from the light tubes goes an extra 1.5 inches deep and he needs stitches and can't wrestle for 8 weeks.
And turns up to AEW Dark with a light tube sticking out of his ass.
Soz can't wrestle tonight, lads.
Yeah, sorry boys, I know you've been advertising this for 3 weeks that I'm going to be on TV, but these 17 stitches, yeah.
It's so shit when he's using this sort of stuff. Do you know how long his deal is with MLW?
It's rumored to be less than 6 months.
I was going to say, I believe it was up at the end of May, was what I heard.
So it's in the next 6 months, Jimmy will be clear from MLW. Not that they're keeping him prisoner or anything. It was so whenever it happened, whenever AEW opened, MLW didn't have a clause in their contract against AEW. They had one against ROH, I believe, and one against Impact. So there was a big loophole because and WWE obviously, but there was a loophole because AEW was a new promotion and it wasn't in there. That's how they were able to get MJF and Jimmy before their contracts were up. So essentially, they were contracted to both companies and getting paid by both companies.
Sweet gig.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet for Jimmy and MJF. So now I think once we see Jimmy Havoc's contract up, you'll see him a lot more because obviously they've seen something in him that they wanted. He was a British wrestler, so him and Kip Sabian and a couple of others were brought in. But I do think they'll utilize him a lot more once the MLW side of it's up, and they can invest without him going and getting injured.
I have a feeling that people like Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc have been brought into AEW because Cody did spend quite a lot of time, didn't he, in the UK? He was doing quite not regular, but indie shows over here. I know he did what used to be Defiant. I don't know if any others he went to.
They did OTT. The Bucks were in OTT every time they were doing a big show in Dublin. The Bucks and Marty and stuff like that would be down all the time. So those guys, Cody did spend a lot of time in the UK, and a lot of the indie wrestlers they've signed have been guys they've fought elsewhere. So guys they've fought, they've liked their work, they've known they're safe. Same as Private Party, I think they fought them at HGH first, and saw them about there, and just they're using their experience of the time they spent on the indies to go and wrestle or go and bring people in, which is a good way to do it. At least then you've shared a locker room with them and you know what sort of person they are, and it's not just randomly plucking someone that might be an absolute arsehole.
Yeah, Dex just said that Kip wrestled Cody by the looks of it in IPW.
Yeah,
because that's the first time I saw Kip was in a multi-man match over in IPW. First time I went. So let's get into the main kind of feature of AEW this week and to finish us off. Cody receiving 10 lashes from MJF.
This was brutal.
For those of you in the chat, you can see the result of Cody's back.
It was almost perfect.
You can
almost perfect.
So you can hate him as much as you want, and I know Matt does. Matt doesn't like Cody, but you cannot question the man's.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Fucking hell!
Absolutely insane. This was.
All I'm gonna say is I assume he's into BDSM shit because otherwise he's fucking nuts.
I think it comes back to a lot of the stuff that you criticized him for. He's into the 70s, 80s wrestling, and obviously he loves that when his dad was wrestling. He watches a lot of it. that sort of shit happen every couple of months in the territories, and I assume that's it. Like, it's worked. You think about, I guarantee if you check the numbers, not that we would, but if you check the quarterly numbers, I guarantee a lot of the ones that were watching NXT went, oh, Cody's going to get fucking hit with a whip here. Or Twitter started going mental and people flipped over. I will agree with what Tiger's just said, and he said it at the time, the one thing that ruined this whole fucking segment for me was Brandy coming down at the end. Because I think I was the only one watching it live, but I went, they've just made Brandy a fucking babyface 2 weeks after she was a psycho heel on TV. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Everything else
There was no need for it to be there, though. It didn't have to happen.
I mean, like, I get it, because they brought out Arn Anderson, and then when they brought out his brother
and the brother,
and like they came down to just make sure that he gets through it, because there's no point in taking the first 5 lashes if you're not going to get through all the way and have your vengeance. Like, if they'd have cancelled the Nightmare Collective stuff 2 weeks earlier, they'd have explained that she was mental because of the head injury. Like, they almost kind of had that. Oh, she had that head injury and she's not been the same since. If they'd have just had somebody treat her for the head injury or something like that, tie it up and have her off TV for 2 weeks, that's all they'd have needed. But unfortunately, they've had the Nightmare Collective stuff in the last couple of weeks, and then nothing. She's not been seen as a face at all. She's not been treated. She's not been anything. And then they've just gone, wham, here's his wife coming out to save him. And it was just... It was...
A lot of the segment was great. Like, the fact that you've got all the heel members of the roster on the top of the ramp. Yeah. Like, I was like... Because you see the collective of people at the top of that ramp. And I think it was... Britt Baker was there.
Butcher and the Blade were there, then half
Butcher
the Blade there as well. Sammy Guevara,
Sammy, and there was another one which I was like, what? Like, but it made sense that the heels came out to have a look and say, oh, what's going on over here?
Cody, get the
let's all have a good laugh, and then you've got to have the books come out and Arn and Dustin to kind of say, look, you can do this, Cody, you can do this, you want this match, don't let him have the satisfaction, make sure that you can then go and kick his ass at Revolution, you need to do this, which was great. Like, the fact that he gave a lash to Wardlow added to it as well.
That one was
that was brutal, and it put so much more heat on Wardlow for this cage match.
Yeah. Like,
I think partook in this, and I was like, that is fucking fantastic.
On top of that, you had Dustin came down and said, I want to take the next 5 because, like, and MJF went, that's not how it works. But then Wardlow said, "Oh, give me a go," and he just went, "Yeah, fine."
Yeah.
And then Wardlow just didn't fucking hold back at all. He just went,
you know what? I was expecting with that as well. I was expecting, like, because obviously they had a ref in there to count it. I thought the ref's either going to miscount it, or the one with when they did the Wardlow thing. I bet they're going to say Wardlow's doesn't count. Yeah. He's going to have to do 2 more. But they didn't. They kept it, which is fine.
One thing I did like was how it ended, because I was wondering, okay, once you've done the 10, how's it going to end? Everyone's going to cheer, and then MJF's just sort of going to walk off. I love the end where he goes, okay, just kicks him in the knackers and bolts.
Whammo, and then bolts.
Oh, it was fantastic. What happened after that? Because I couldn't really tell.
So they went up into the crowd, and someone, it's rumored to be Kazarian.
People thought it was a fan.
People thought it was a fan, but it's rumored that it was Kazarian. And that's the build of Kazarian having a match with MJF before the match with Cody, so that it's not just Cody wrestling. Another really good touch about that segment, I love the fact he made Cody take his own belt off for it. It wasn't MJF's belt. No, we're using yours. Give me the fucking
my belt. My belt is too good for this kind of thing. Give me your belt.
That's just it was just.
I've just seen Jack in the chat. It's just put, "Oh, Hebner to do his shitty leg thing at 9 when he's counting."
Oh man!
But that pretty much concludes this week's kind of wrestling frivolities. The only thing that's also been announced is the cage match. We know about that in 2 weeks' time. In
30-minute Iron Man match next week, isn't it?
3 weeks' time, we've got the Iron Man match. between Kenny and Pac. So, like we said earlier, they are drip feeding big time matches. Look, 3 weeks time, you cannot miss this. Like the first steel cage match in AEW is 2 weeks time. The first Iron Man match is in 3 weeks time. Like they are saying, look, we are building very much towards this next pay-per-view, which I think ITV doesn't exist anymore, does it? Box office.
ITV is dead, isn't it?
I would say they are making significant numbers on the Fight TV Plus. I think the UK numbers must be fucking great on that, and it's one of the reasons why they're still talking about doing a UK pay-per-view and stuff like that. I think Fight must be bringing in significant money. They obviously don't need to release that because I don't think Fight need to release their numbers at all.
No, they're not a publicly traded company. They have no obligation to release any information like that.
So I would say the numbers must be pretty fucking good. And when Dark eventually goes to being on TV instead of YouTube, and it's part of Fight, I'd say the numbers will only increase then.
Yeah.
AEW is going to. I think ITV and AEW will part companies very soon.
Yeah.
I can see AEW getting a deal with Sky so they can go live. Because obviously they can't at the moment do it on a terrestrial channel in the UK.
If not Sky Sports, a company that will show them live.
Something like Premier Sports or.
Or like what Spike TV used to be and stuff like that. I know Spike TV got Impact, but like something that doesn't need to live by like
something like Dave.
The thing is, Spike won't though, because old Spike is now like Paramount, isn't it? And Paramount have just had this with Channel 5 where they've just got WWE, so it won't be anybody like that.
No, I know, but I was mentioning that sort of like not necessarily a free view channel, but something that's on a Sky package that might not be Sky Sports directly because I know their raw numbers were shit.
Honestly, I reckon something like Dave
different TV deal. Like someone will throw money at them because they'll see the TNT deal and they won't think about, what's this Fight TV thing that's going to take all my viewers anyway.
Well, I mean, if it was a choice between on TV or on Fight, as much as Fight is a great service, I would pick TV just because unless I log into my PC, I can't watch Fight on a TV. Whereas I can watch my Sky, I can record it on Sky, so I can record it and watch it any time. Or if I've just got home from work, I can flick the TV on and watch it in 42 inches rather than fucking faffing around and sitting in here and watch it on a computer monitor.
Yeah, that's why I've not taken up the Fight TV, because I'm like Matt. It's easier for me to record everything on my Virgin Media box and then watch it when I can, because otherwise, I just don't open my laptop all the time. So, I think that's pretty much it for this week.
Are we not going to mention New Beginning this morning?
Well, I haven't watched it. You can mention it. I don't think anything massive happened in terms of title changes, so I wasn't going to. Do you want to talk about it?
Just the last three matches, really. So, I didn't watch any of the multi-man tag shit at the start of the show because, as much as New Japan is great, I don't give a fuck about like the fact that
the only one that I think
Bullet Club hate fucking Chaos and all the rest of that.
I think the only one that actually
Tiger hasn't watched, so he's like frantically trying to get people to stop when he's left.
Yeah. I think the only thing that there was a special tag match with Ospreay and Okada against Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi, because I know Ospreay and ZSJ are going to go against each other in York Hall, I think.
Well,
the British title.
Spoilers, but Zack Sabre Jr. came out and beat up Moxley after his match. So Moxley versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the US title.
Spoilers, Moxley kept the title?
Moxley kept the title. Everybody kept the title.
Is this where we still giving away every spoiler that's around, isn't it?
I want the King of Gold.
I kind of spoiled it by saying not a lot really happened. I don't think any titles changed. Well, you're not listening.
Yeah. We're not.
No, not really. I wasn't.
It's a wrestling show for the podcast.
I'll be honest, I was absolutely exhausted this morning. I got up at 4. I watched the end of UFC. I watched NXT, and then I turned on the New Japan Network, which rolled over the bastards. I took more money out of my PayPal. And I looked, and it was that Zack Sabre Jr. tag match thing. And it was basically Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi standing out there and kicking each other. I was like, I'm going back to play.
I'm sure there's a promo. I've seen the promo where I think, what did he call him? Moxie called him like the U-Noodle Man. Because of all the holds.
Did Moxley fight with an eye patch or not?
So he started with an eye patch.
Okay.
Suzuki ripped the eye patch off, and he had a white dressing on underneath it. Yeah. And then Suzuki ripped that off, and then you didn't see that side of Moxley's face for the rest of the match. So they did a good job.
Work. I like that.
I don't think he was meant to rip the dressing off, but they accidentally ripped the dressing off, and then the camera worked for the rest of the match. Moxley was shot from the one side for the entire thing. Any time that you saw his entire face was a massively wide shot of the entire half the arena, so that you couldn't see the fact.
That's amazing.
It was really good work.
That's a nice touch that Moxley's carried that over, though.
Yeah, and the fact that New Japan have worked so well, because I don't think that dressing was supposed to come off, but it did, and New Japan worked hard so that you couldn't see that eye is actually fine. So that was really good. Yeah, so you had the matches that you want to go and watch. The
last three, isn't it?
Yeah, the last three. So it was Ryu Lee versus Takahashi. Is that?
He'll always be Dragon Lee to me.
Dragon Lee versus Takahashi, whatever you want to call him. That was incredible. There was one spot that I've never seen before.
Hiromu's fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Hiromu stood on the outside, and Ryu Lee vaults the top rope, and goes and does a Hurricane Rana off the and drags him off the outside. So he stood on the apron, and he vaults the ropes and Hurricane Ranas him off. Which was I've not seen that done before. That was pretty cool. And there was a couple of other good spots. That was a cracking match. The Moxley match was good, and obviously you've got Zack Sabre Jr. coming out afterwards. And then the final match, Kenta did as a heel, he works fantastically. He just wound the crowd up the entire way through the match, because they got rid of all of the Bullet Club people straight away. So the referee, before the match had even started, sent them all to the back.
So, as a potential issue for Bullet Club, right? Heel Kenta isn't much of a follower. Jay White is technically the leader of Bullet Club. Do we see Kenta kicking White out, or
I would say in the next 6 months you're going to see some sort of fight for the ownership of Bullet Club. Yeah,
I'd like to see Kenta kick White out and just have Kenta lead Bullet Club and be a legit main eventer over there.
Yeah, I would as well.
I concur.
Would you? Cheers, Chris. Would you see Jay White go back to Chaos, or
no? I'd let Jay White be solo and just have him be the rapey knife pervert or whatever his gimmick is, where he just goes and
they should pub title.
He just goes and attacks people. Do you know what I mean? Or you just pair him with fucking Finn juice again. Let him go with the 3 randos. No, obviously you couldn't do that if you were to keep him as main event. But I think you could have Jay White on his own, or have just Guido with him, or Ghetto, whatever you call him.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs a faction behind him, and it gives him a bit more credibility if he's not leaning on Bullet Club. Whereas I don't, off the top of my head, I don't think Bullet Club have ever had a Japanese leader. So if Kenta ended up taking Bullet Club, I think that would be massive for New Japan.
Well, definitely,
I think it's always been a Gaijin that's led them. So you had Finn, then it was AJ, then it was what do you call him? Kenny, and then Jay White took it off him. So I think having a heel or a Japanese wrestler as the leader would be an interesting dynamic.
I think it'd be Kent is a good one to choose, because he obviously
he's still an outsider because he's
an outsider because he was because he and they basically New Japan see anybody who's not New Japan as a foreigner.
Yeah.
So I think it would work well, and I think you'd have a couple of good matches between Kenta and Jay White before Kenta takes it over, and then Jay White can just either go off and just have singles matches, or maybe go into another faction. But for time being, I think that'd be a good way to go, and that's a good way to build Kenta again. I don't think Kenta's going to lose.
I wasn't laughing at you, but I'm sorry.
I've just seen it.
Jack's doing a thing.
What?
Fucking
Deck in our
Marty
chat
is
just,
like, Marty has watched that episode of The Elite where Kenny tried to sign Marty Jannetty and like, you know what? I could do better than that. Gangrel, come on down, vampire fan face.
Imagine if he does bring Marty Jannetty in for shits and giggles. For
What do you mean Edge is back? I'm bringing the Brood to ROH. Gangrel, come on.
Bring him on.
Brilliant. I think that pretty much concludes this week's podcast. Once again, thank you very much for the gentleman to join me. Thank you as well to Jack for all the behind-the-scenes admin.
I'd like to thank Smoot for putting up with our shit, mostly me.
Yeah.
Been a good sport this week, Smoot.
Cheers, mate. Once again, this is recorded live, so if you do want to join us in future, make sure you go to twitch.tv/badbookers. I got it right this time. If you are interested in supporting the channel in any ways, make sure you drop us a follow over there so we can get close to affiliate, and then we can start taking subscriptions and you can subscribe to us. If you do want to give us money anyway, Patreon is a thing that we do have. Check out our Patreon. It'll be in the description to the podcast. Check it out, see what you can offer us if you wish. It's not
No dick pics, please.
Yeah,
I'd rather not. No.
Any donations that you give is not expected, but very, very highly appreciated. Make sure you. Pardon?
Don't worry. Go on. Continue.
Make sure you check out Power Slam TV if you haven't done so already. If you use our code BADBOOKERS, you get 1 free month over there. Lots of independent wrestling to feast yourself and enjoy your wrestling needs in it.
Bruv.
Have I missed anything else? Twitter @BadBookersWP.
There we go.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.